From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. The House of Representatives passed the recon. It is now in the Senate, and the Senate have more time to do that recon because of a major vote last night that got the debt ceiling limit done. The debt ceiling limit passed last night is now becoming law, extending the order all the way to February, which signaled that, one, we have more time to get that recon done. Number two, a major vote by Joe Manchin last night, which signals what is at store for that recon. And the second major breaking news tonight is that we now have 5 of 6 senators in less than 6 days saying they're going to give you an IRS stimulus check or more. The incredible recon has a lot of checks, upwards of $50,000, but there is third stimulus to pay your bills right today. And you're going to meet viewers who got money today as well. Then we turn to the exciting details of student loan debt forgiveness, a $10,000 offer on the table, the big money for fifth stimulus coming in January, and the breaking news about that jobs number today. Jobs numbers today, they were blowout numbers, incredible great numbers across the board. Plus, you're going to get the preview of the new show coming to this channel in addition to Sirloin and Jabita Late. It's the new Metaverse coming show to this channel, and then we go over what to anticipate this weekend, because guess what? Those legislators are working on your recon. Those incredible details start right here, right now, as a big evening's LA is ramped up. Exciting great news as the schedule is free to get that recon done ASAP. The incredible great news starts right here, right now, as your big evening's LA broadcast gets underway. Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope we're having a beautiful evening across the board. Well, the House of Representatives have passed that recon. It is now in the Senate, and the Senate could pass it even faster than initially thought because they have now cleared their schedules after getting that debt ceiling limit done last night. It's incredible great news. Plus, the latest details on that big Joe Manchin vote last night. It was huge. The programs in that recon so far pay a lot of money, upwards of $50,000 to $60,000. I'll show you the incredible money in this recording, but you're going to get your bills paid today. Today, not tomorrow, today, under third stimulus. I'm going to show you the big sums of money that viewers are getting daily on this channel. Student loan debt forgiveness, the big money for that, and then fifth stimulus, the huge money coming in January. Plus, the latest details on that breaking news of that major blowout economic numbers that came in earlier today. It's a huge evening. We got a lot of breaking news, and with that, I want you to subscribe. So go down to this video and hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video to 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And with that, let's go into this incredible recon tonight that pays you a lot of checks, upwards of $60,000 of checks in this incredible recon, far more than the initial $15,000 we thought. I'll go over all those checks starting right now with cluster number 1. Here we go, folks. Hazard pay got in there. Essential workers, 1 more year. Wow, great news. The earned income tax credit, $4,000 of elder care got it in there. $4,000 to care for young children. They got the CTC, the child tax credit, 1 more year, $3,600 approximately. They got the home repairs, low-income families and communities across the board. They got the $550 Pell Grant check for my college student, and they got the $12,500 check to buy an electric car. How do you get this money? I'm going to go over it in just a second as we go into the second half of this video. But let's go into the first add-on tonight, and it's huge. It comes from Maxine Waters here in Southern California. She got it in there, and that is free money to buy your first home. Wow. She wanted $25,000. It will be a little bit less, but this is huge. You're going to get this at the time of escrow. How do you get this money? Stay with me. I'm getting to that in just a second. Let's go to that second cluster checks. Got it in there, and boy, is it good. home repairs, family medical leave, also household tax credit, pre-kindergarten as well. Those incredible details. The second add-on comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got it in there, and what is it? He wanted $250 billion. He got a little bit less, and this is free home health care, seniors and people on disabilities. Let's go to the third cluster checks, and here comes the deliciousness. We got in there free school meals for all checks. We got cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform, farmers, money for free internet. Also, the money for the workers and the Medicare expansion. The Medicare expansion truly embodies what we're looking at right now at that recon, because guess what? House members got 2 Medicare expansions in there, and the senators want to add 3 more. What's at issue? House members got in there the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix, and the senators vow to add dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which is truly embodying the situation right tonight about MSC, which stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. And what's at issue? We have been advocating for this since May. This is the single biggest place for advocacy on the planet. And I said about 2 weeks ago, let's start re-advocating, because guess what? We're now in the Senate. The senators now have the legislation. Reach out to those same 6 senators who have said to thousands of viewers since the month of May, they are going to put it in there. And you have. And the great news is now tonight, we have 5 of 6 senators saying to viewers of this channel, it's going in there. We started on last Wednesday when Janet spoke to Chuck Schumer's office and was told that Schumer via Bernie Sanders will be putting it in there. Then we had Lynn Glenn speaking to Chris Coons' office and being told it's going in there. Then we had Bonnie speaking to Elizabeth Warren's office and being told it's going in there. Then we had Dwayne Taylor yesterday speaking to Casey's office and being told it's going in there. So there you go. 5 of 6 senators. The only one we have not heard from, so reach out to, is Ron Wyden. And here are the 6 senators you want to advocate to. They are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. 5 of those 6 say they're going to put at least 1 or more IRS stimulus checks in there. So what does MSC look like at the moment from those legislators? They vow that it'll be the same eligibility as third stimulus. Single individual, $75,000, got it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, they got it, double it. Double it. Family of 4, they quadrupled it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, they got it as well, along with adult dependents. When we talk about the amount, they have talked about at least 2 checks. And the various amounts they've talked about is $2,000 a month for the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. But you need to advocate. And that is what those viewers who got those incredible messages across to those staffers were saying to fellow viewers. You need to advocate and pick up the phone and call. The advocacy involves saying the following words. I need it because. Let's talk about your medical, your dental, your vision, whatever your situation is. Do not use the word MSC. Advocate across the board. They want to hear from you. And the best way you advocate is speaking over the phone and speaking to their staff in D.C. The second best is leaving a voicemail if it's on the weekend. They now have a total between congressional or senators' offices receive more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than anything else in America. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. They now have a better understanding of what Americans are going through because the LA viewers and you LA'd. So we have delivered upwards of about 5 million phone calls. We're the biggest source of advocacy in the United States, but you still need to advocate because they're not done. They have heartbreaking stories in their voice of the people across LA as you have become too loud to be ignored. Very kind. Let's read the last sentence. Please continue your continued encouragement for the continued advocacy as a professional voice of the people until this becomes law. Absolutely. So if it's the weekend, leave a voice message. If it's during the week, get the staffer on the phone and advocate. And again, those senators you want to reach out to are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Meantime, give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet. Why? Because there's big money available still under third stimulus. In the second half of this video, you're going to learn how to get your bills paid today under third stimulus. Viewers are getting on average $45,000 since earlier this year. Then this week, viewers have gotten $5,000 every few hours per day. One viewer getting $135,000 and one viewer getting $850,000. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid in the second half of this video. Student loan debt forgiveness, we're going to turn to that. That will go by executive order. The latest offer on the table. We have those details coming up in the second half. Then we'll be turning to this stimulus coming across the board. But of course, the big issue tonight is that fourth stimulus. We'll be going over the latest checks that are in there, the Senate changes, the passage, the vote last night, and the big surprise from Joe Manchin. It was great news as well. We have a huge second half, plus the breaking news about those new labor numbers, those details and more. As we go into the second half, I'll be back with you in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA, direct from Santa Monica tonight, as the recon passed the House off to the Senate. And those Senate changes will be robust, and now will be quicker with the passage and law of the debt ceiling limit moved to February. The breaking news tonight. The programs are growing across the board. It's huge, and they may be upwards of $60,000 of checks in this recon for you. But no time and place to wait for fourth stimulus. You can get your bills paid today with third stimulus. I'll show you how. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest on that. COLA raise, and now's details is more. We got a big second half of this video. I'm excited you're here, and so make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Become part of the LA Alerts, which is totally free. It's underneath the video. That LA Alerts sends you an alert when a new video goes live. But make sure you subscribe, like the video. It helps in the algorithm ranking. And consider becoming a member. Get that incredible newsletter tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. The breaking news as we go into tonight is that we had a major vote in the passage last night, but also a lot of other breaking news that came from that. And let me go over the details tonight, starting right now. The big details right off the bat is that last night, Congress did exactly what I told you they're going to do. On a Thursday night at exactly the time and date of the week that I said it was going to happen, Congress got the debt ceiling limit done. It's now law that's been extended to the month of February. They don't have to deal with it until February. This is huge for you because it frees up time to get that recon done this month, number one. Number two, it's also huge because Joe Manchin voted in favor of it. Why is that important? Joe Manchin had earlier said he was going to vote in favor of removing a provision in there to fund vaccination mandates. So an amendment was called for a vote by the Republicans, and they're expecting Joe Manchin to vote in favor of it. He did not. This is great news because Joe Manchin has often over the last year said he was going to vote against something, and he always votes Democrat. That's what I always tell you about Joe Manchin, is he may puff, but when it comes to push, he comes right in line with the fellow Democrats. We also had earlier today the breaking news about those new job numbers, and they were incredibly great news. I have the latest on those in my commentary coming up later in this video, but we're going to go right into this incredible recon right now. The House of Representatives sent it to the Senate, and the senators have a lot of checks in there before they start adding other ones on top of them. And let's start with those incredible checks in that recon from the house that pays you about $50,000 to $60,000. Is there checks in the recon? Yes. How much? About $50,000 to $60,000. This is before the MSC? Yes, it is. So let's go over these incredible checks starting right now, and they are huge. We're going to start with the paid leave. How much? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $35,000 annual salary, that would be an $800 a week check. $15,000 annual salary, that would be a $400 a week check. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Oh boy, that's a lot of money. It is $6,000 on the high end. Now, if you don't work, but you live with your son or daughter, and they do, this would be coming to the whole household. For example, let's say your son and daughter takes off from work once a week to take you to the doctor. He's going to get the check for the household. There you go. The next wonderful provision they got into this recon is the SALT cap. You are limited to deduct $10,000 on the federal tax return of what you pay in state and local taxes under the 2017 tax overhaul rules of the Trump administration. No longer the case under the recon. They're going to raise it up to $72,500. They got $40 billion of free job training, which is huge because millions of Americans want to take a better paying job. Now you get trained to do that for free. And countless seniors want to go back in the workforce because the salaries are so good, you'll be able to under fifth stimulus and still also get free job training. They got the Medicaid gap fix in there, and viewers daily ask me, where is that cheaper medical insurance? Here it is. 12 Republican states vowed not to pay for Obamacare, so the Democrats got a workaround plan. And what is it? They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. Then we get the best provision in this entire recon, and you know what it is. Housing. $150 billion for housing. With 3 provisions brand new, they are weatherize your home, they are home repairs, and also first-time home purchases. And then the 3 provisions repeated from third stimulus: rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And yes, you heard me right. You do not have to wait for fourth stimulus to get this money. You can get it right today with third stimulus. And I'm going to get you thousands of dollars of your bills paid starting right now. Let's step back. Third stimulus was passed earlier this year. And as soon as I got a preview of what was going to be in third stimulus, before there was even a bill, in December, I got a preview of it. I said, I'm going to get you a lot of money on a third stimulus. As soon as it became law, I got viewers a lot of money. On average, about $45,000. At the time, some people were saying there's nothing in third stimulus except a stimulus check. I said, no, there's a lot of money. I'm going to show you how to get that money. And we did. But 2 weeks ago, I brought third stimulus back into the recordings on this channel because I knew you had bills. I knew you had bills to pay. And I said, you know what? You can get another round of third stimulus. You can get multiple rounds of third stimulus. I'm going to show you how. And third stimulus is back on, baby. And viewers have done wonders. Here are some incredible viewers. But first, what is this for? Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and you qualify for it. Brand new tonight, Lynn Glenn got rent paid for 4 months. Congratulations. Says, I can never stop watching you. Love you. Love you back, Lynn Glenn. Then yesterday, we had the incredible comment that came in from one viewer, and her name was D. Miller. Says, I got approved for 4 more months of rent, $2,800 total. So shows you her rent is $1,200. Love it. They're paying big months of rent. We had Robin, who got 3 rounds of one utilities and 3 rounds of another utilities. That's what I teach on this channel. I'll show you those details coming up in about 2 minutes. She says, you are an angel in disguise, ally. Very, very kind. Then we had the day before the incredible Madonna, who got a round of rent, then another round, and the third round of rent. That's how you're rocking, Madonna. Love it. Before that, earlier this week, we had Kathy, who got about $6,000 from rent and 2 other items. You're a godsend, LALATE. I really appreciate that. Shows you what you do. You get 3 items, and you get about $6,000. The average view of this channel this week and the week before has gotten about $5,000. And then we had May Lou, who got about $4,000. She has high rent. She has about $9,000 a month of rent, and she got 3 months of it. Morel got 1 round, a second round, and a third round. I'm loving Morel. Jay Graham says, I speak for all of us. We love you, LA. Love you back, Jay Graham. Got about $5,000 for rent and 2 utilities. Melissa Justice got $10,000 this week from rent and 2 utilities. Larica got all her lumber paid into 2022. That's how she heats her house. Sophia got utilities, and then Chris, love Chris's story. He got $10,000 from this channel earlier this year for rent and utilities and then did not know there was other rounds that he could get. He says, I would have never known about this if I wasn't watching. He got another $5,000 this week. And there you go. So get that pen and paper ready. It's your turn to get this money right now. You qualify. Single, married, children, not children, behind on bills, not behind on bills, red states, blue states. Every single state has the money. The federal government gave the same amount of money to every state based on the population. They have the money. I'm going to show you where you get it right now. But first, let's go over the rent. It's huge. It's gone up to about $40,000 from 3 months ago. Let me show you the graphic 3 months ago and show you how much more it is today. Here's that graphic then. It's about $40,000 now. So get that money for rent, where you get 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. They're all featured in the newsletter. The keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage, utility assistance because of COVID. That's also featured in the newsletter. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Next, you must do the 3 musts. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get multiple rounds and as many applications on file as possible. And number 3, you must get multiple rounds. You've got a round earlier this year, get another round today. You've got a round yesterday, get another round today with another organization. Here's your utilities. Big numbers right now. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000. Big money. You can get it from all your utilities. You call them up and you ask for utility assistance because of COVID. Here's money for SNAP. It's food. If you got a third stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? Get SNAP. And yeah, it's a lot of money. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. That's $250,000 over the next 10 years because of you or this channel. Everyone's SNAP benefits went up 25% in October. You want to get combo items. Nisi and Art Sullivan started this with 3 items. I turned to Mark. I said, Mark, where's your third item? He was at $32,000 with 2 items. I said, where's your third, Mark? He got it, went to $50,000. Now Mark's at over $100,000. Here is Lorraine. She was at $105,000. Now she's at $120,000. And if you saw it, you believed it because it happens regularly. One viewer in the live chat, I believe it was yesterday's Holidays, LA. If you remember the show, send me a private message because I can't remember which one it was. A viewer was in the live chat and said, LALATE, this week for our family, I got them $135,000 from third stimulus. This is what we do. This is what you can do as well. All right, let's turn to Johnny and his incredible story that inspires us how to do this. He was one of 3 viewers who started a particular week at $0, but by the middle of the week, they each had $45,000 from 3 programs approved. Pretty good. But Johnny hears my recording, which I say, keep on pushing, don't stop. And he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. Huge. Now, to get 7 programs approved, Johnny had to call at least 15 phone calls because you're going to get at least, 30, 40% of no's. You're going to get some rejections. He had to have at least 8 rejections to get 7 yeses. And how much did Johnny get in 1 week? $80,000. This is important because if you're one of those viewers who doesn't really focus on what I say in the recording and does it a version of it, it's not going to work. A version of it is I called 1 place, they said, no, I stopped. Johnny called 8 places, and they said, no, he didn't stop. He got 7 places that did say yes and got $80,000. Second part of Johnny's story, the following week, he reached out to his family member and said, hey, I got $80,000 last week. They said, from who? Watching LA. Oh, I know about him on YouTube. Where'd you get this from, Johnny? He said, from learning about the big money under third stimulus. They said, Johnny, there's no money on third stimulus. It's just a $1,400 stimulus check. He said, stop watching those broadcast channels. They don't cover it. He covers it, LA. I'll show you how you do it. By the end of the week, they each had become believers and each received $50,000. Now, what's important to understand is that LA is now the number 3 financial news channel in America, and the number 1 covers SPACs. Yeah, SPACs. Who? SPACs. I don't cover SPACs here. It doesn't mean they don't exist. If I don't cover SPACs, does it mean they don't exist? No, it means I just don't cover them. If they don't cover geopolitical news, does it mean it doesn't exist? Of course not. It means they just don't want to cover it. So that's that symbiotic relationship, which brings us to the third part of Johnny's incredible story. It's huge. Johnny sent me a private message on last Sunday, during the NFL football game, and he said, I have a big update for you. You can't believe what happened. I kept on having people come over to my mom's house. They asked me what I was doing. I told them about ULA and what I've been doing for other viewers. And it snowballed. And to date, I've helped 35 of them get $850,000 from third stimulus. Yeah, you heard me right. 850,000. $850,000 from third stimulus. And you can do that as well. So with that, let's cut back to fourth stimulus and the other 3 provisions in there for housing, and they're huge. They are the weatherize your home, which would be for all homes and all income levels. The low income community home repairs, that's when your home is a low income community. They give you free money to make the repairs. And then the first time home purchases, big money given to the seller during the escrow period. Let's go over the other incredible provisions in this recon. $150 billion to care for elderly and young children in that home health care. Then they got in there the Pell Grant, $550 check for my college students. They got $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. This is a great provision. Let me show you how different this is than anything you've ever seen on this channel. You went into the dealership in 2019, looked at the window sticker on the car, and said $30,000 for the electric car minus $7,500 federal tax rebate equals. You go to the cash register to pay for the car, you're paying $30,000. You have to pay the full price. Then you have to file a tax return. Then you have to wait for the refund and still wait and still wait. Oh, and then it finally shows up. The refund check of $7,500. That is not this. This means you're going to look at the window. It's going to say $30,000 minus $12,500 equals $18,000. You go to the cash register, you're going to pay $18,000 because the federal government is giving that money at the time of sale right to the seller. It's huge. Now, the next provision I think violates U.S. trade policies. Cannot pass a law that discourages the buying of goods made in Mexico or Canada over U.S. And that's what's happening. The provision looks at two different similarly situated cars. The Cadillac Lyriq, which is an SUV and it's electric, versus the Ford Mustang Mach-E, which is also electric and also an SUV. What's the difference? Let's look. They're both made by U.S. autos. Ford versus GM. They're both electric cars, Mustang Mach-E and Cadillac Lyriq. And they're both made by unionized U.S. labor. Ford unionized labor, and then GM unionized labor. So what's the difference? The Mustang is made in Mexico, and the Cadillac Lyriq is made in Tennessee. And that disqualifies the Mustang. I don't think you could do that. I think they have to modify that language. They got $65 a month when that kid is not in school for nutrition, which brings us to the best provision of this entire recon. The lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D, cheapest medication, the most expensive medication made the cheapest overnight, like cancer, arthritis, and diabetes. For example, a insulin dose would drop from $1,000 to $35 out the door. The list of medications will start at $20 and then grow to $30 by 2028. The price of medication cannot increase more than the rate of inflation, or there's a penalty provision if the Democrats do that, if the big pharma does that. Penalty provision? You can't do a penalty provision, says Pat Toomey, the Senate GOP member. I believe he's right, and that is among the provisions that the Senate parliamentarian is going to look at in that recon to potentially remove out. Is a penalty provision a violation of Senate rules of recon? I believe it is. I think it's going to go out. Also, the immigration reform. She previously ruled it cannot go by recon. I think it's coming out. And then the paid leave, well, here you go. If the paid leave does not qualify, you want it out now so it doesn't cause a battleground from Joe Manchin. Now, those Senate programs that are going on top of this recon are a lot. And in just a second, you're going to see some of those Senate programs. But guess what? Of those senators you want to advocate to, they all say it's the best bill since the 60s, but major gaps that need to be fixed by those senators. And those senators saying that are Casey and Coons and Warren and Wyden and Sanders and Schumer. That's why it's important to advocate for these items in this incredible recon. Which brings us back into those provisions that pay you checks in this recon. For stimulus recon, let's go over some more checks in this for stimulus recon. Remember, there's about $50,000 to $60,000 of checks in there for you. They got in there universal pre-kindergarten, front-end check. Child care, 1 year back-end check. The child care credit, that is front-end check, about $3,600. The earned income tax credit, back-end, 1 year, essential workers, home health care covered benefit. The hearing aid, a check. And we already went over the housing, the Pell Grant, and we also went over the nutrition. So what else then? You look at this graphic under my face, $15,000? No, it's clearly $50,000, $60,000. I mean, you have all those, you have the car, for example, that's $12,500. But I mean, even if we don't even talk about the car, we already went over the $45,000 of checks under third stimulus, they're repeated under fourth stimulus. So all that is in this as well. Before the senators add their changes, and what changes do they wish to add? Well, when you talk about Bernie, he wants to do an MSC, and he also wants to do dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. For lowering the eligibility age, he went to 55. It's currently 65. Bob Casey wants to do it 60. Then when you look at the dental, Bernie wants 10 years of full benefits. I don't think you can do that. It's too expensive. He offered 3 years of full benefits. I think that works. And the last offer was an actual check in the recon before they moved it out. $850 check for seniors and people on Medicare for dental per year. Doesn't cut it. Doesn't cover most procedures. Bernie also wants free eye coverage, which would be an eye exam and a pair of frames per year. Pretty simple. $150, send it out. Do it as a check once a year. Very simple unless you have frame wars. Coming back to this channel shortly. Student loan debt forgiveness. This would go by executive order, not by recon. And there's an offer on the table, $10,000. The Democrats should take it. The president previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation. People went to work in the nonprofit sector. People went to work in the public sector after graduation. Democrats should take the latest offer. And then we go to fifth stimulus and COLA raise. And your incredible questions, I'm going to answer them right now. COLA raise kicks in January 1, 5.9% across the board, meaning your benefits are going up 5.9%. This is all of you. Now, last night, someone said Social Security says there's different amounts going up for different people. Let's be very frank. The rate, the increase, is going to be the same rate for everyone. Everyone's going up 5.9%. But it's 5.9% of whatever your benefits are. So yeah, you're going to go up a different $20 or $200 or $100 based upon how much your benefits are. But everyone's going up 5.9%. A letter? Yeah, if you haven't received the letter, your benefits are still going up automatically. When? It's supposed to start in January, this lift up, but we are hearing some veterans are receiving the lift up starting in December already. Incredible, great news for them. And then when we talk about this stimulus, what else are they going to do? They're going to raise your benefits up one big time to get you caught up because COLA has left you behind and you've been undervalued on benefits before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and now. Number 2, remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And then finally apply a new benchmark, which would be inflation, 2 to 3% likely the next few years. It's huge, and they should do it. Meantime, fifth stimulus and anything else you've been asking about? Well, number 1, the fifth stimulus recon would start in January. And number 2, the use of an increase of your benefits does not cause any cause of concern for Medicare premiums across the board. Elsewhere, the day started with a lot of breaking news across the board. And that breaking news I want to go to right now, which is a mixture of actually 2 different items. The first one was that incredible vote on the debt ceiling limit last night. It took less than a few hours to have both chambers pass the debt ceiling limit. Shows you how quickly they can move when things happen. Number 2, the jobs numbers were released this morning. And when you look at the jobs numbers, there's a marquee number, the headliner number, the most important number of the group. And then there's other numbers that are very important, but they don't get as much press coverage. So what happened? When you look at the headliner number, it was a miss. But the other numbers were absolutely incredible. Best numbers we've seen in the history of this channel. First, the overall unemployment number dropped dramatically to the 3% range. The Fed wants 2.8 approximately by next year. We're almost there, so this is huge. Number 2, it also showed that and again, that's the best unemployment number since 2019. Next, it showed the labor participation number improving dramatically. Labor participation refers to people who have a job offer or could go back to work but are sitting by the wayside for whatever reason, sideline for whatever reason. Maybe they're worried about COVID or they don't think the salaries are high enough. Well, guess what? That number improved dramatically, meaning those people took jobs and got back to work. Number 3, it shows that the labor rate, how much you're paying for those employees, went down. Did not increase as initially seen in recent weeks. Finally, the unemployment numbers for Latinos and African Americans improved dramatically. So what does this mean to you? It means that the inflationary concerns are settling down because if that is the case, supply chain will be fixing itself. Inflation will be settling down. If you have truck drivers coming back in the workforce, then the trucks are on the road. You have enough workers. There's no labor shortage. People are taking jobs. They're willing to accept the job at the rate it is. They're delivering the products. There's no labor shortage. Everything is coming back down. What is the takeaway tonight? And this is brand new news tonight. The NASDAQ plummeted today. And crypto plummeted today. So why did they crash? They crashed because the numbers were too good. No one was expecting these numbers so good. And the reason why they crashed is because they now believe unless Omicron does something very scary in the next 2 weeks, the Federal Reserve, when it meets in 2 weeks, will announce a quicker tapering and a quicker rate inflation in the next 12 months. They think that these economic numbers were so good for this economy, showing this economy much stronger than we are, that the Federal Reserve has to start tapering, which means removing their stimulus very quickly and getting ready for not one, but two rate inflations next week and next year, if not three interest rate lifts next year. And Wall Street was not ready for that. They did not expect this incredible great news. And with that, that brings you up to date with all those details. So what are we looking for in the next 2 weeks when we're talking about the Federal Reserve? We're looking at seeing whether Omicron is changing and making it a more troubling situation than initially thought. If it doesn't, then you're really going to see the Federal Reserve come and say, we need to ease on our support of this economy. The economy is too strong right now. It is way too strong, much stronger than we originally thought. Let's turn back to three things tonight that you need to know. One, our wonderful show, Holidays LA, continues, and it continues tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. A lot of people are loving the show. It is Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. live on air, and it features the latest breaking news about your financial markets. And then the second half of the video covers holiday decor, holiday food, a holiday festivities, and holiday decorating, including the LA Christmas tree. It's been a very, very popular show because it's interactive in the 2021 season. In the second half of the video, I jump in the live chat and interact with you, and sometimes we talk about stimulus as well. So join me daily on that show, live Monday through Friday, and on Encore on Saturday, Sunday, if you've missed Holidays LA. Here again is a preview of the show, which many are now calling their favorite show on the channel. A lot of people are really, really loving the show, which makes me very, very happy. I hope to keep you as much informed and also entertained. Here again is Holidays LA every day at 11 o'clock on this channel. Meantime, every day on this channel, we always find something new and exciting. And one exciting is very exciting for me is the LALATE membership. I want you to become a member because the membership is making a big difference. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. YouTube alert system, LALATE, big money for first, second, and third stimulus. This six places you reach out to from the web. The keywords you say, profits, and it also features a lot more. It's a great incredible news, which also features money to Treasury and delineates what it is before you make the phone call. Because doing exactly what's covered in this video is what gets you the money. Every day there's someone that jumps into live chat says, I called one place, I'm confused, I don't know what else to do. Become a member. It's also delineated in membership news. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it also gives you that emoji of a purple heart behind your name. One of the most anticipated new shows coming to this channel. You're going to start to see a little bit more in the next few days. Is our brand new show about the metaverse. Yes. In the metaverse, there's a real opportunity to make money. People have been asking for me to have many more videos about subject matter. I'm going to show you how to make money in the metaverse, which is a great encore channel to this channel, because this channel is about a community, about interacting, and about commiserating, and that is what the metaverse is. Here's an imagery of myself in the metaverse recently, and for hours. I've been actually inside a nightclub. Imagery taken from the LALATE Instagram account. I'm looking at a big screen TV of an actual DJ performing. There's me actually dancing, the ability to move your body in a certain way. Here's me at another function. It's a very big function held by a major player in the metaverse. I'm actually on the second floor of the structure, interacting with viewers and world travel. You can see how many people are actually in the room. That is the sky. So there's no room on the rooftop. And there's me trying to get some moves. Take a look at the roof and the setting across the board. Then I visited a casino, not a house casino, but a casino. And you can make it rain, and you can have someone else make it rain. This casino has an Asian theme to it, and it's quite comprehensive. It's large, and you see me interacting with other people. That could be you. That could be you like me, and interacting and feeling the excitement of the moment. That new show coming to this channel in just a few days. You how to make the money in the metaverse. If you have a side hustle, in real life right now, and you want to promote it and make more money in the metaverse, this is the show you want to watch. It's coming to this channel shortly, and it'll give you the opportunity to interact with fellow hawks in a digital environment, just like myself. You'll be able to interact with one another in that digital environment. That is what that digital environment looks like, and that is coming to this channel. Meantime, the excitement that everyone's been wanting about solar and LALATE and planes, etc. One show, and it's like Christmas and Eli right in the mirror. It's like Joe Manchin saying, yes, no. Here again is the unanticipated trailer of the show, comedy only. Have seen it. And with that, make sure you subscribe. For a YouTube record, hit that subscribe button right now, like the video, and consider becoming a member. Have a beautiful evening, and stay with LA for more.